Welcome, folks, to
Hello,
Watch Your Word.
hello.
Hi, Kelsey. How are you?
Great, Kevin. How are you?
I'm good. Let's see. Let's see what humans we have here. It looks like we got Finney. We got Legs. I don't see the guy in the bear suit. We got Borland. Can't hang. Much like the Lynx, but came to drop a like.
Nice. Well done.
Snaps. We got it's like Shooter Slay. I need to read the names before I click on stuff because I can't read the smaller font. Chunks and Mac Attack here. What up, friends?
Hello,
All right.
hello.
Welcome to day 4 of the WNBA season.
Yeah.
Day 3.
Well, I get,
Day
right?
3
Were there
games.
games? Day 3 of games, day 4
Right.
of in the season.
Yeah.
The W is back, and so are we. Ready to go.
Every team has played at least one game. We had a
Yes.
couple. We have a
Which
couple
blew
with
my
2.
mind.
Yeah.
I forget how few teams there are. And I was like, everyone's played. Everyone's done it.
Everyone.
Okay. Yeah, we got through it. We saw the whole thing. Expansion. But
I know. This is like I went to a high school of like 60 kids. Like my graduating class was like 17 humans. So anytime that we've like ever gone back with my spouse who like grew up in Denver, class of like 600 people, every time we do like a graduation or anything like that, she's always like, okay, that's it. This took 10
That's all?
minutes for kids to walk across the stage.
Yeah, you're like, that's everyone?
That's it.
Okay. All right. Which in some ways you think would make things like DFS easier.
Oh,
I'm having a hard time.
oh, Kelsey.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll talk about
we'll also
that.
get into this. We will discuss much to discuss, you guys. We had tried and hoped to do a show before the start of the season, but I feel like we are just ready to go with so much info. I don't know if I would have had this many thoughts on Friday. I think you held it down with Mike on Friday, but we were taking in all the games, and now we're ready to go for you guys. So we're excited.
You've actually been to a game. Can we start with like what was your experience like at Barclays?
So Liberty opener, I walk in, they hand me a T-shirt. So anytime I get merch right away, I'm already happy.
That's right.
It's a cool one too. It's like season unlocked, and it's great. And then Steph Dolson welcomed us in. Yeah, it's a black tee with the seafoam lettering.
Nice.
Steph Dolson welcomed us in. She announced like, "Hey, New York, here for the game. Like, let's get excited." It kind of sounded just like that. She said more things, but it felt like it wasn't very prepared, which I actually kind of loved. So that was exciting. Got to see her play. Sabrina, just welcome. I feel like we're gonna get the Sabrina season we've been waiting for, and I'm gonna knock on wood because I don't want to jinx it, but like it was fun.
Stay healthy.
Yeah,
Sabrina.
great game. The energy was awesome. Mike went to the Nets Celtics playoff game, and he's like, this game was more fun. Like, there's more energy in this room. I think credit to the new mascot, Ellie the Elephant, who was a sight to see. Did a nice Mary J. Blige halftime performance with the various torch dance crews that I did not know existed for the Liberty. So if you're there, keep an eye out for, I think it's the Tiny Torches is like a kids dance troupe. And then the Timeless Torches, which are like 60 plus, I think, dance troupe.
You even outside everything to do with the game. Yeah.
All of the entertainment factors were there, and it was incredible. So definitely recommend if there's a WNBA team in your area, if you are in New York, especially, go to those games. Tickets are cheap, and worth way more than their current value. So,
and I regret putting into the WNBA channel on Discord the disclaimer before game started saying, "Hey, these teams haven't had time together. So, like temper your expectations." And then New York, Connecticut play, and it's like a damn playoff game.
It was awesome.
And
it seemed like Connecticut might run away with it. Like that game started and we were like, oh, then it was fine. New York pulled out the win. So
just what high level of basketball you saw with that. That's incredible.
We did. We had some really fun games. Opening night and opening weekend. Yeah, I feel like you saying that made them play better. Like they knew They're locked into the Discord.
Yep.
They're like, we'll show him.
Yep.
Um,
This one dude, we are going to just like show you,
but I
and
think
I
that's
deserve it.
part of being a W fan, and I think that's part of being a W fan that wants other people to be W fans, is you're like, are they going to enjoy this as much as me? Because like
Mhm.
it is different in a lot of ways. And I think, if you're going in expecting to watch an NBA game, if you're always comparing to the NBA, I think in some ways you might be disappointed. I think in other ways you're not going to be, and it's going to exceed your
No.
expectations. And I think that you're gonna find some of this stuff to be like even more fun.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's weird to be a fan and be like, okay, how do I explain this to you? Because it is basketball. At the end of the day, it's basketball. But yeah,
Yeah.
great weekend of games.
Great weekends
A
of
lot of
games.
fun.
So, since we're making content, since I am a person who, for Winsider, we do our power rankings, we do all the hot takey kind of things. Let's synthesize this weekend and let's find some hot takes in it. Like, what's something that that surprised you over the weekend, or maybe what's your hottest take? That's your takeaway from this
It's
weekend.
probably too soon to say this, but I also feel like maybe it's not. Uh, at Mystics Championship, like they look good.
Oh my gosh.
They're doing,
You got
and
my
you know
heart.
what?
Mhm.
This tonight's game against the Aces, I was like Aces 100%. They look so good. They're
Mhm.
quick. They're shooting from three. Like they just look incredible. Becky Hammond went in there and she's like, "Here's how we're gonna win this whole thing." And they were firing on all cylinders. And I feel like maybe they like overplayed the last couple games and may have been
Mhm.
tired today.
Yep.
But if that's the case, like if that continues, which I'm sure it won't, right? I'm sure they adjust and they'll be able to hold up against the Mystics. I was surprised the Mystics pulled out that win tonight, but
Mhm.
with a healthy Elena Del Don
Yeah.
and like the Mystics not having their whole roster right now because there's
Mhm.
still people coming back from overseas, like they're going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think you saw exactly what the problem with the Aces is, that people were worried about, and it's just that depth. Like, once you
Yeah.
get past maybe, like, Jackie Young or Chelsea Gray on the bench, like, there's not a lot there. I
Yeah.
love, Teresa Plaisance.
Mhm.
I even love, like, Kirsten Bell, the
Yeah.
rookie, but, like, those folks are gonna take time,
Well,
and
and if
yeah.
Kirsten Bell needs to have the time to develop, and
Mhm.
it doesn't seem like they're pulling those players off to give them time.
Yep.
I was surprised they didn't get more playing time. In some of those games where it seemed like they had, or when they have a cushion that they're not going in more often to kind of get that
Mhm.
development. Um, but yeah, it does for fantasy purposes. I don't hate that
Right.
because that means even in blowouts, you can play someone like Kelsey Plum or Hamby, and they're still going to get minutes.
Yeah.
But we can get into that too. I have like my fantasy sports strategy is all. I'm like I got to make
All
sense of it. So hopefully we can make
right.
sense of it today.
We are just
Um,
drinking through a fire hose of
yeah,
stuff right
and,
now.
and then for this other takeaways from the weekend,
Mhm.
Indiana looks good.
Yeah. Shout
They're
out Destiny
fun.
Henderson.
I think Destiny Henderson is the answer to this question.
Yep.
Henny came in and she's like, "Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm a WNBA player now."
Yeah. I
She's
mean,
just like, yeah.
let's
What
see.
was her?
I brought up their box score for Indiana because
Yeah.
I wanted to look. And let's see.
I also want to see Destiny's stat line for the other
All
night if I can
right. Can you
find
see
it.
that all right?
Yes.
Possibly. Okay. So let's see. Destiny Henderson, 19 minutes, 50% field goal, 5 assists, 8 points. Pretty great. Queen Egbo. Everybody thought Queen was way overpicked in the draft. Like C minus to D plus grades all around from the folks who are writing about the draft. Still coming in 8 rebounds, 4 points, 50% field goal. Inksler is taking a little bit more time to develop. She also had some rough turnovers, things like that. But even let's see where else. Lexi Hull struggling a little bit,
Well, and
but
this
I
is just
think from
tonight. I
the
think Lexi got more playing time
she
last
did.
game.
Hmm.
Destiny played incredible last game, but
Yeah,
they're playing. Like
but
they're clocking
Melissa,
solid minutes. Melissa Smith is there's like one of their best players right now.
right,
She's incredible.
double double in the first game, like
Yeah.
incredible, just playing out of her mind. Way
And
to
I
go,
think there's
Melissa.
something really fun about them being underestimated because they're rookies and then playing at this level
Mhm.
already. I don't know if you saw. I want to see. I might be able to pull it up quickly, but
Sure. While you're
the
doing that,
fever. Are you on Twitter right now?
I'm not, but I know that Mac Attack totally goaded us into this as the resident Fever fan. Like, he
Yeah.
totally was calling on us
You
to
know what though? We love that
yeah.
because that means he's locked in. He knows what's happening. The Fever had a great tweet today. I want to find it now. Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's really funny. I'm like logged into I just auto logged into something and it's like an old account I made for a friend in college. I'm like, I don't.
What is this?
Yep.
Mag Attack 2. I love everything related to Natasha Cloud. Her post-game interview after the first game where she just basically grabbed the mic from the reporter, like pro wrestling style, and
Yes.
said, "I'm a shooter now. I'm putting the
Yes.
W on notice. I'm a shooter."
She was incredible.
Oh, great. Yeah.
What a game.
Yeah. Hopefully she gets healthy and back
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, that
And
was it's illness, right?
I think so. Yeah, it was COVID protocols. So I don't
Yeah.
know what it is around that, but
I
yeah, hopefully she can be back soon. Hey
yeah.
Ricardo, glad you're here. Um, lots of good moments from rookies this weekend.
Yeah.
How are you doing on the Twitterverse? Can I
I don't
keep
think I
vamping?
remember my password. So we might just everyone go
Let me talk and I'll
go
find
to the
it.
Indiana Fever Twitter account, follow them if you don't.
You're
Look at their
fine.
tweet. It said like something about like just take the L or write the L and it's like a cat in the
Oh my
image.
gosh.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Oh.
like a laser pointer. It's good. It's
All
good.
right, here we go. We're gonna have to find it. Oh my god.
I was like, if this is Fever energy, I'm here for it. Like
Oh
this
my
is
gosh.
your rookie team doing this.
There we go.
There it is. Chase that L. Here, kitty, kitty.
Oh, I
We
apologize to every Lynx fan, in the
it's
chat or
good.
who's watching this, but you gotta
This is
respect the
what the
energy.
W needs.
Mhm.
We need
Bring
drama. We need like
bring
we
the
need this
petty.
dialogue. We
Uh-huh.
need these rivalries. Like, yes,
Let's
yes.
go.
Make
Um,
enemies.
yeah. I think, what I if I was gonna have a takeaway in just like one game, speaking of dialogue, speaking of drama in Patty, um, the talk, the energy, everything that was flying in the Spark Sky game,
Mm,
that first game, I I I again, another highly played game. Um, it leaves me a little bit worried about Chicago. I know
yeah.
it's one game. I know it's a hot
I
take, but
know.
this is what they
I
did last
know.
year. They gave away games with these dumb plays, and
And
this
I
is why
was
they were
not impressed with Liz
no.
that game.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Liz too. She showed up second game, but
she did.
she I mean what they were doing that first game, and she's missing bunny after bunny, and I mean kind of frankly, I don't know that she's in season shape at the moment.
I would
There's
agree.
a great tweet, I need to find it, that basically said, um, she went to the sidelines during the Indiana game and asked if
Yes.
they were playing in altitude. And they're like,
You're
yeah,
right.
right, I
Like,
found
what's
it.
the
There we
elevation?
go. What's the elevation here? I'm like, fam, you are in Indiana.
Uh-oh.
This
Yeah.
is not Denver. That's not good. That's
Yeah.
not good for you. Liz Cambage came back to the LA Sparks bench and asked, is this high altitude? This shit feels like high altitude. We're in Indiana. Oh my God.
And I mean, Indiana's been playing unbelievable, but Liz should ball out in that game.
Yeah.
They don't have an answer for her. If she didn't, I would have been like, they're done.
Yeah,
My early takes, but I would have been like, they're done. If Liz can't put up points against this Fever team who's played one WNBA game,
mhm.
what
Going
are
up
we
against
doing?
3 rookies. Yeah, you're Liz
Yeah, so like
Cambage.
I'm not super impressed with Liz yet. I mean, that was
Mhm,
a great game, but I don't know.
mhm.
I need
Yeah,
to see
Neke
more.
looks great though.
Mhm.
Yeah, Neke, Jordan Canada, um,
Yeah, Jordan Canada
obviously.
looks really good.
Oh my gosh, really
Yeah,
balled out
she was
those
fun.
games. So that's fun. So it looks like a little bit like, oh God, here we go again with Chicago. Might be up and down. Obviously, talent out the nose, but just
And
I
that may
can't.
be too like I don't know. I think to your point, about some of them just needing to get back into basketball shape. Like they don't have a ton of time. So
No.
I don't think
Yeah.
a lot of them, like, I don't think it's the same in that way with the NBA that like,
Right.
I think that's the difference for Chicago too. I think it's
Sure.
getting back to that pace and that energy that they can bring.
Yeah, and that'd be
But
something
yeah, it
like I
wasn't.
want to know from like the chat, like what are things that you like? What are some of y'all's takeaways? Because I know that folks were locked in Discord watching games over the weekend, which was fun to see. Be interested to hear what y'all have to think.
Yeah, shout out to everyone who was in the Discord this weekend. That was so fun. It made watching the games, like, I am someone who already enjoys the games, but to have somewhere to go to talk to people about it was just
Yeah.
really, really cool. I feel like it keeps me more locked in. It makes
Mhm.
me, more excited to watch
Yeah.
the next game. Um,
And then
yeah, that was awesome.
speaking of being locked in for games, which is something that I wasn't on our Watch or Work fantasy because I
Oh my
completely
god.
forgot to update lineups
Yep.
on Saturday.
I also had no idea. I didn't understand the format, so I didn't
Oh.
know. So I shouldn't tell everyone this, but I think everyone else figured it out besides me, maybe, is that you can
Mhm.
go in and set the lineup for each day.
Yep, you can
So you
go
wanna
ahead.
maximize your daily point. So, like,
Mhm.
and it will not change, like, whatever you set for the day before, when you go to the next day, it's gonna look like the last one you set, so you have to switch it, but it's not gonna, like, retroactively change your stuff.
Yep.
So you can essentially set your lineups for the season, which is
Ye
nice, because then you're just, like, paying attention to some injury stuff, but in a lot of ways, like, it's not gonna change too much if on a day like you only have X amount of players playing,
Yep.
because those are the only games. If you want to get really into it, which I was like, how much of this do I want to do? Like dropping and adding based on schedules,
Mhm.
you honestly may get more points, and that may be advantageous for you. But with the W and the sort of like cluster of talent,
Yep.
I wouldn't recommend it. But you get fancy with it.
Oh,
Some of your bench
absolutely.
players you can swap in. Like if you know you have your kind of core players and you want to switch people in based on whoever has a game, I don't think there's a limit on adds and
There's
drops,
I think the standard scoring, there's a limit of 8, um,
like all season.
for per week.
Okay.
Yeah, no, all season, that would be awful. Can we
Well, I
find
would think
settings?
they might have to implement some way. I like 8 feels like a lot for the week. Like if I
Let's
can,
see.
because if I can make 8 swaps per week, I could.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um Is there acquisition waiver rules? Season acquisition limit, 7 per matchup. So 7 per, uh,
For
I
per
guess,
weekly matchup.
yeah, per weekly matchup. Those are the drops and
So
adds
that
that you
means
can do.
I could either optimize. So yeah, now I'm thinking about it.
Uh-huh.
Because some days you probably have, on days with a lot of games, you'll have, like, you may have a full lineup.
Mhm.
Days you wouldn't have a full lineup, you're down probably like 4 players. 2, how many did we put in the lineup? 6? Or maybe
Let's
it's 6. So maybe you're down like half of them or 2?
Yeah, so your entire lineup is 9, but you do play 6 over the course of the day. So 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4,
so
5,
if
6.
like
Mhm.
only, so you're probably only down, I guess some days you could be down 4 players.
Mhm.
Um, but you could put them on your bench and swap them in. I don't know. I feel like you could optimize it
Oh,
and
absolutely.
add drop, even if they're only scoring a couple points.
Mhm.
Like they come off the bench, it's more points.
Yeah, especially when we're at this time where people are like still coming in.
Yeah,
We have people
yeah,
on hardship contracts who are only going to be there for
yeah.
like 10 days. Yeah, keep an eye on those like roster drop in ads. Keep an eye on sort of like the rotoballers kind of websites to see who's in, who's out.
Yeah, you might have to
Make some of
manage
those
this team
updates.
like day to day.
Yep.
But
Yep.
it's hard to set, like you have to really keep up with it. It's hard to set that stuff
Hmm.
ahead of time if you're adding and dropping people out, because you
Right.
can't drop them if like you need them for Monday or Tuesday's games and then they're not playing again until, yeah. But
Yep.
I'm gonna think about it.
Right. And Garen has the 8 this week due to the 10-day first week since it started on Friday. So we have
Hmm.
this weekend that we just played, and it goes through I think the 15th, which is
Mhm.
next Sunday. Is going to be that first kind of matchup. So keep that in mind. Also keep in mind, like we're going to have on the future here, we're going to have folks attached to different fantasy websites. coming on. We got some folks on the Winsider side who are doing stuff for Patreon subscribers on the website, and they can come in and talk to us about the betting side and the DFS side for WNBA. So keep tuned here, because we're gonna have some advice, we're gonna have info, we're gonna have probably just posting a lot of L's on my end from what we've been doing. Lots of L's. But let's look for our particular league. This is what we're looking at for players who are available. So as we talk about, these drop-in ads, like so much talent in here, like Destiny Henderson.
I almost picked her up the other day, I think.
Yep. Odyssey's here. Didn't play tonight. Crushed me in fantasy. She was a late drop, but is going to get playing time as long as Kayla McBride and other folks are overseas.
Yeah, that's the other thing, checking in on when people come back too.
Plaisance, I think she's got more minutes than I thought she would kind of early in the season. I know it's just sitting around sort of that like 14, and I think she was closer to 20 this past game, but has been a pretty good rotation player.
Yeah, that Dijonay one's interesting for now.
She played a lot on Saturday.
She played a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll hold. I forget who it is that's coming back. I think they have a player overseas that will probably slot in there, but she's been playing so well and really has developed because of AU. So I imagine she still gets some substantial time.
Yeah, Gustafson's going to keep getting minutes. Emma Cannon was dropped by Phoenix with Diamond to Shields, and Brianna Turner coming back. There's lots of good folks in there. Yeah, so keep checking out that. Do you want to talk about how we're doing? Jaren has another good one. And set those lineups for the whole week on Monday. Then those 5-minute checks kind of every day while you're sitting over coffee. They do a lot of good work. I try to keep mine sort of like 3 days ahead. But then inevitably there's going to be a week where I forget to check after that. This
is also a great call. I set my lineups, I think, through like June or July. And if I go back and look at it, like, good for me. But this is how you win. But I often forget that I have drafted a fantasy team, especially if I'm playing daily fantasy or somewhat daily fantasy. I don't know if I'll get to it every set of games. And trying to do picks, it's just it's like the last thing I think about. So I'm glad I could set everything ahead of time. That should help me out in some ways. But I'm sure I'll get very competitive by the end of the season and just be totally locked in.
All right. So if we want to talk about
how's our
oh God. All right. Well, let's look first at FanDuel, because I can navigate the desktop site for that better. Do you ever find, like, if you try to log into FanDuel or DK, DraftKings, like on your computer, it's so bizarre because it's so different from your phone that it just like becomes impossible to navigate?
And I don't think I've logged in on a computer in a long time for these.
Right. But so it is me who's the boomer. So this is how we did today.
There you go.
Yeah, we struggled. Your boy's only going to play things that are a quarter or $1. I'm the grandma at the nickel slots. That's fine.
I've been putting in like 15 because there's not very many. I prefer DraftKings to FanDuel.
Yeah.
I would prefer it more if they gave me all of the functionality that they do for NBA, because like when flames, and so I don't do the FanDuel as much, but I do think you get more roster spots on FanDuel than DraftKings.
Yep. Part of what I like with FanDuel is that it does it rewards stats like steals and rebounds, I think, a little bit better. Which for my kind of like player eval side, I feel like,
what do they reward those at? You could probably drop someone down and we can see.
Yeah, so then let's just look at
if Plum had any.
Like Plum. So it's like the 1 point.
Oh, and you get an extra point for 3-pointers. Interesting. You get half a point on DraftKings, I think.
Yep. And then DraftKings also does the bonus points for double doubles and triple doubles. This is my lineup. That was the Courtney Dangerfield, or the Dangerfield revenge game. She did all right.
Yeah. Well, how much was she? 3,400.
3,400.
So like, I think the rule is that you want them to at least 4x their value.
Mm-hmm.
In
Yep.
WNBA, it might be different. You might need it to be more to actually win.
Yeah.
But for her to like 6 or 7x that, I feel like is a steal.
Yeah, and we can look at it if we build a lineup for tomorrow. But I feel like on FanDuel, it's the salaries are so weighted in a weird direction. It's so heavy on
Yeah.
the forwards that it's so hard to
Mhm.
really build a lineup.
They
And then
do
we
make it
see.
harder. I do find DraftKings easier from a salary perspective.
Mhm.
And I for a long time thought Mike just told me this because he needed an excuse for when he lost. But
Right.
he would always say if you're like you either want to be at the top of the pack and do really well, or you
Mhm.
want to be totally wrong.
Oh,
He's like,
yeah.
truly, it's a if you're not first, you're last because and you
Yep.
want to be because you want to decide on what the game's going to look like, and
Mhm.
so and you want to take risks with that. So like either you get it right and you're nailing it, or you get it completely wrong. And that's like you get one game completely wrong, your lineup's pretty much dead. So
Mhm.
like
Yeah, on these two game lineups. Yeah. So speaking of being um completely last, here's what I rolled out for DraftKings today. You see down here, your boy got 114th at 118. I'm sure those last four didn't fill out lineups at all.
so our lineups are very similar for I was 455th out
Oh.
of how many people? Uh where is it? Contest. It's not live anymore, so it's not going to tell me. I
Right.
looked though, and everyone after out of 470, and I truly don't think the lineups were filled in after me. Um, yeah, played
Yeah.
Shakira Austin, and she did not get minutes,
Yeah, she didn't.
so that was a bummer. I was like, is she not playing? Like, I think I looked after halftime, and she had 0 points.
Mm.
But yeah,
Oh,
played Plum,
thanks, Mac
played
Tech.
Deladon. Yeah, it
Mhm.
was a tough
Yeah.
night. It really was. And
Yeah.
I thought the Vegas Washington game would stay. I thought it was going to be a close game.
Mhm.
Washington kind of ran away with it a little bit at the end, but I did think that was going to be a little bit more competitive and a little bit
Yeah.
higher scoring. I feel like Vegas has just been scoring a lot. So
That was gonna be my play is to try to
yeah.
really feature those Vegas teams because they're getting
Mhm.
possessions and they're getting points up.
Yeah, Jackie
And
Young and
it
Jessica
work.
Shepard in the top 4 for point totals is I would not have.
Man, shout out Jessica
But
Shepard. Like,
Shepard, she killed me last night too. She's been
I
doing really
know.
well.
Shout
Keep my eye on
out
that.
Jess Shepard of Fremont and Lincoln, Nebraska. You
Mhm.
love Cornhusker Queen. And yeah,
And
so
Kelsey Mitchell too. So in
mhm.
this contest that I played in DraftKings, she was under 9% owned, had 37.5 points. That's good. And like it is so hard. And Hines Allen was under 4% in this draft.
Which is wild to me.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
She's the second or
Yeah.
third best player
Oh my
on
God.
that Mystics team.
Queen Egbo, 0.21% owned.
Wow. I mean, I
What?
didn't trust her, so I didn't play, but
What?
then she still shows out
I
with the
didn't
boards.
either. And I
Mhm.
almost played Alyssa Smith, but I had been playing her so much that and she'd been doing well and the percentages were a little bit higher. So
Mhm.
I didn't. I kind of stuck with my go-tos and I needed to mix it up tonight.
Right.
You gotta know when to switch it up. But I know the day I switch it up, that's what's gonna win the whole thing. So
Yep. All right, so
that's just the
let's
nature
build
of it.
something.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that in FanDuel or you want to do it in DK?
Either's fine.
Okay.
I imagine that like some of the consistency plays are pretty similar.
Mhm.
I kind of have my list of my favorites I keep going to, and then people I'm keeping an eye on, which just
Yeah.
keeps getting longer and longer. And I would be very curious to hear. This is almost like a hot takes from the first weekend, but people that you're sort of like, I already have a small list of people that I'm like, I might fade these people for the rest of the season. Like, I need to
Oh.
just tell myself, like, you can't play them. You just can't do
Mhm.
it, no matter how much you want to.
Yep.
Don't put them in your lineup. So I'd be curious who's on that list for you if you want to like noodle over that.
Well, I'm gonna say like for the time being, like I'm gonna stay away from Emma Meesterman. I feel like I talked her
Mhm.
so up in the off season, and I just think she needs to find a spot in the rotation, needs to fit in with this offense.
Mhm.
Because she was visibly frustrated during that Sparks game, and I just think it was, it was a struggle for her to get anything going. Do you have one on the top of your head?
So yes, I do. I think the Meese been called too. I think she did fine, kind of in terms of points, but I'm still trying to figure out too. It really feels like you need to get the top 6 scorers on the slate. Like in NBA, you don't have enough salary to do that.
Yeah.
Especially DraftKings, you oftentimes do. And a lot of these Indiana players especially are still undervalued. So you're getting steals for these people.
Right.
And then they're putting up competitive games, so they're getting the playing time. And then even if it's a garbage time situation, they're still going to play because they're trying to develop these players.
Right.
So like Indiana, like I will probably have someone from the Fever in all of my lineups. Just because even in a blowout, like there's an advantage there, which normally there's not. Like in NBA, I don't feel like there's that much of an advantage.
They're gonna get run. Yike.
Yeah, sure. It's a minutes. It's more of like a minutes kind of analysis. And then I think too, at some point, my kind of strategy will change for those steals, threes, like blocks, like the high value plays like that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Hamby did great last night, and like all her fantasy points were rebounds. She had an insane number of rebounds last night. It was nuts.
And but I think go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that other one for me, if you brought up Vegas, which made me think of the first game, and like I think I'm shying. I'm just fading all Mystics outside of Skylar Diggins-Smith until they start to look like a normal team for the Mercury. Yeah. Taurasi was just she was uninterested in that first game and was primarily a facilitator. Tina Charles she thought she shot like 30%. Like it just wasn't a normal Tina Charles game. But you had someone. So
Phoenix, like the whole Phoenix team is on my spicy list of like I think I'm gonna fade them. I think of their players, Diggins-Smith feels the safest. So like if you think that's gonna be a high scoring game, or if like the odds line says that's going to be a close, high scoring game, I think Diggins-Smith you could probably go with, but until they figure out their lineup. It's hard to tell who's going to get minutes, like who the offense is running through, kind of who's going to get the most looks. So I'm not going to go there. Also, I think like Seattle, I'm staying away from for the most part. I don't. So what I'm noticing is that the popular names are also the popular DraftKings plays. And so it does feel like right now there is an advantage to knowing like sort of the 1B level of player. So like I think Stewie every time is probably going to be 65+% owned. Sue, I don't think I'm going to play Sue in lineups because she's overpriced for like her production. She's not getting like, unless she has a super high assist game, I just don't think she's scoring the points you would need for you to win. Like, I think she's a fine play if you're like trying to be in the middle of the lineup. But again, you want to be first or last. And I don't think she fits. I don't think she fits in that first bubble. So yeah, Stewie and Sue, I think I'm going to fade at least for a while. Stewie's going to have like a 70-point fantasy performance and then I'll change my mind. But
oh, absolutely. But like, I mean, that's a fair assessment because I think there's commentary on Twitter during the Storm and Sparks game, or the Storm and Aces game. Just like who's figuring out who these rotations are, because it was, I mean, McGregor didn't get a ton of playing time. Talbot potentially should be out more. They're trying to figure out the backup point guard thing with Jordan Canada being out, and beyond January just not super effective offensively. The team has a lot to figure out. And I think that was a good commentary by me because that made some tail wags happen behind you from the Banders. So I'm taking that as a win.
There you go.
So let's see what we have for what we can do in FanDuel. So let's look at this right here. So we see our top, our highest price guard is going to be that 7,700, 7,600, stays above 7,000 pretty quick. But then let's look at our forward and see if that holds.
So what's the average? It's 5,700-ish average per player.
Okay. Yep. And
Okay.
this is where I am so confused about how to do this in desktop version versus my phone,
Yeah.
because I know exactly where all that information is at. Yeah, so 5,700 per player. So
So what are we looking at for the games?
mm,
What is our game? Because I think step one is to figure out what we
yep.
think is going to happen in the games,
Hmm.
and then then you build from there. So the May 11th games, there's three of them
Hmm.
tomorrow. So there's
Yep.
LA, Atlanta,
Hmm.
there's New York, Chicago, and then there's Seattle, Phoenix.
Hmm. So
Okay.
my first blush at this is like New York, Chicago. I
Mm-hmm.
see points and I see probably close
I'm like, yeah,
throughout.
maybe in overtime. That is.
Hmm.
Let me see what the So this is when I go to see the odds.
Hmm.
Let's see.
Robert Abram came in to throw in some alpha. Big game tomorrow, guys. Liberty versus Sky. Keep your eyes on Rebecca Gardner for the Sky. I think she will be in big impact tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to look at what Rebecca has in terms of what
Sky.
that salary is for the game. And I see these others, and I don't know what to think.
So Seattle Phoenix is weird because my instinct is to say that could also be close. But again, I honestly don't feel like either of the teams have figured out
Right.
like what they're doing yet. I think Seattle has an advantage with Stewie. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
But I would maybe shy away from that game.
that's the one I'm shying away from. I think there's still going to
Yeah.
be points happening in LA, Atlanta. I think
But do we
Ryan Howard, Canada. Sorry.
Yeah. Atlanta's been playing okay. I just again, I'm still like, is that going to be a blowout?
Mhm. Yeah,
But I don't know if LA,
it could be an
because like
Erica
that could be
Wheeler
similar
revenge
to the
game.
Fever
Yeah.
LA
Hmm.
situation.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, hmm.
Yeah. I mean, Erica Wheeler, the former Sparks player who now plays for Atlanta. Oh man, Brittany Sykes is someone who had a really good first game. Yeah, so Erica Wheeler is going for 6,300. Let's see where she's at. First game, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. She is someone who's probably going to demand the ball. That it being her former team, I would feel comfortable kind of going that direction. I don't know that I'm that high on Ryan Howard. I like Ryan Howard. I
What
just could
is the
also see
salary at?
that see 7,400 right
Yeah,
now.
there's
That's
not
the
really
third
a
highest score.
huge. That's wild for
Mhm.
a rookie to have. Yeah, there's not a huge advantage to the rookies anymore.
Right.
Um, hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna fade. I'm gonna fade to Rossi.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So what game's your favorite?
I think my favorite game is going to be New York, Chicago. But what worries me is that it's going to feature players like Sabrina, Candace Parker, and others who are just going to
So
be
if that's
super
what you want to
expensive.
do though, I think you put them in now
Hmm.
and then you see what's left for pieces. And then if it doesn't work, you go back to it
Yep.
and you like switch it up. But if you
Yeah.
want to target, and this is where I'm still sort of thinking like
Hmm.
basketball, where like I don't know how many people to stack from games.
Hmm.
The one I did a good job with,
Hmm.
I think I had 3 aces players in there
Hmm.
and then 1 player on the opposite team because my game plan was that was going to be close.
Yeah.
And it worked out fairly well for me. But
Hmm.
you are like, if you're picking 3 players from one team, they're splitting, from the
Hmm.
total points.
Yep.
So it really does. That was like over 100-point game, so it was fine. It was a really high
Hmm.
scoring situation there. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't quite know how to do the WNBA stacks. My guess is like I would think to do at least 2 from the team you think is going to win,
Hmm.
and then on the other end do
Right.
the other high scorer from the other side of it if you think it's going to be close and competitive and the whole game is going to be high scoring.
Yeah, I absolutely foresee like a Sammy and Tosh Howard
Mhm.
sort of being that focal point. I could foresee just a lot of just like trapping action and things like that for
Mhm.
Sabrina. Man, we gotta find where is our friend
that's true
Rebecca
too.
Gardner
They have
going
an
to be
answer for
at.
Sabrina.
Yeah. So let's see. Man, I'm still bummed that Rebecca Gardner is not available right now. Oops, I have it on the wrong spot. How do I get back? There we go. Oh, where's she even at? Oh, Asia
You have
Durr.
Liberty up. You needed
I do?
Sky.
Oh my gosh.
It was on a filter for
What is
Liberty.
going on? Oh man.
So if you go into so
yeah. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So 3,600 play. Activated her yesterday. Appears she's going to be back in the United States, could possibly even be available for Wednesday's matchup against the Liberty to make room. Release Connie Davis. Okay.
That's a
it's a tough spot because you don't know what like minutes are going to look like.
No, but that's where I like that because you look at this depth at guard.
Yeah. Dana Evans showed out that first game, but she had to be on the floor a lot.
But that's the good, like Rebecca's going to be solo owned.
Yeah.
But you kind of need that to me is a good salary play. Like if you want to fill in some higher, I think it's smart to leave in there and see what you have left at the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I'm not super sold on it yet, but I don't hate
it. When we can roll with that part. I think, man, I would love to give someone in here from
Azure is a great. I feel like Azure every time. She's someone I'm keeping my eye on for plays. Like I just think that she consistently is a great FanDuel play. I think she's been getting minutes. Like 6
assists, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, the block points. I think that's even that's a low combo for rebounds, assists, and blocks for her as well. I think you're right there. Let's keep
FanDuel you really do have to have do have to pick like the people coming in,
right? And we're still
they're not going to be your top. You're not going to be able to fit very many of your top like 2 to 3 players in a FanDuel lineup, so you're going to have to go to like your 4 or 5 and your bench players that'll log enough minutes. But
right, I'm always going to like Nia Coffey for the same reason that I'm going to like Azure, and just that boards, blocks, there's going to be some form of steals or assist in there, and just a person who's going to get a lot of play time. So we'll throw Nia in. We're inching ourselves back up to find someone on that good forward front to play. Brianna is just back, and that's what I'm going to stay away from. I would love to have changed my mind already on Emma, but I don't think I'm going to.
If you think Brianna Turner is going to play, I can see people avoiding that play for the same reasons. And then you have the ownership potential. Although if you want to plug in Sabrina and see, because you're averaging, you have 7,100 per player left.
So then we throw in, and then we have 65, which isn't too bad to find someone good. And so that gives me just below.
It's like jumping out at you.
This is just like, this is turning into fate.
But you know what happens is if you don't, so like you had 7,100 average for people. So like what's left in this here, you don't really have a ton of options, because if you went, like if you go Liz, you're still left with whoever's below her. Like it's the same options left. So unless you go lower on both of those things and then go up somewhere else. But if you think this guy have an answer for Sabrina, who are they going to have covering her?
Who are this guy going to have covering Sabrina? It's probably going to be some form of, like Sloot, Dana Evans. They don't have kind of the roving defensive specialist that a lot of other teams do at the guard front. I'm not seeing a big stopper. And I mean, in honesty, Chicago is just not known for being a stopper defense. Like they're going to out transition and out out-possession you.
Steph Dolson's fun because that's her
Yeah.
team. She hasn't played great yet, but
Yep. Yeah, so I want to see. So let's see for this guy. There's not going to be much else. I think we have to have
Sabrina Howard. That's dangerous.
Yeah, and then let's see. Is there anyone else on that forward front for this guy that we really love?
I think I think maybe you go to the other game for that one. Whoever, we can see what's available.
Yeah. So yeah. I think we're just walking right into. Let's see what our injury info is for Brianna Turner. It's going to be just
that she's enough. Do you have enough for her? You're gonna have to go down somewhere else.
We're gonna have to adjust. Yeah, but it's a close one.
Yeah. Yep. You couldn't play Sabrina. Or you could. You just have to go down somewhere else. But your other spots, you're already kind of saving. Like,
yep.
You don't really have anyone else.
All right, we're falling into line for Emma.
Now you just New York, Chicago.
I know. This is we have Nia.
On
here, and it's going to be predominantly that. But then, do we see anyone else that we really love? Because if that other game's going to be a stink, then
But so if that other game's not, here's the thing about the WNBA. Even in garbage time, like your good players play.
Yeah.
I feel like they sit there one person. Like if the aces are in garbage time, Asia might sit. But I feel like Kelsey Plum and Hamby, like I feel like everyone else is still out there. Like maybe your 1 and 2 don't, like your top 2 players might sit more, but
so
where is Monique Billings on? Let me look at this Atlanta roster.
Yeah, I mean, Monique and Cheyenne are sort of interchangeable for me in terms of like skill set. I mean, she got 14 boards last time, but she's going up against Neke and Liz Cambage. Like this is not like, I don't think this is this is not going to be her game. I don't think.
Do you think Atlanta sits their starters if it's a blowout, or do you think they let them play together?
They let them play together. That's my
like I don't know if Atlanta sits even if it's a blowout. And this is where I'm still figuring out WNBA stuff, because that strategy is so different. Like NBA, it's a blowout. Like all your stars are on the bench. Like let everyone else. I think you have a lot of good options there. The argument for your Atlanta players there, I think, is that you're not, so like by playing Meesman, you have 2 other Chicago people in the lineup. So like she's sharing their total points. But you also, like, that game is a target. If you go to someone like Monique, you're going to get a little salary back, which maybe you can go up somewhere else. I think it's always tempting to pick the highest salary of whatever's left, but I don't hate one of these Atlanta choices. But I know you said you were going to fade Emma.
Yeah.
Then you fade her. She's probably going to pop off. So
she's probably going to pop off.
For peace of mind, if Emma's the better choice for you, definitely do that.
Right. I feel like if we're going to try for salary elsewhere, like I want to lock in a combo of Sammy and Sabrina, because I mean, them on the court together was great. So if we try to go for our other salary saver, like I don't know that we are getting.
Yeah.
Epiphany was fine. Not great. No, Sophie.
I'm also fading Sophie all season. And that is entirely personal. Which is probably not good DraftKings strategy.
Nope,
but
we love
I don't care.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. We are fine with this.
I will not be playing Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah. We're going to set this lineup, and we're probably going to adjust it 8,000 times before we start.
FanDuel is harder.
Yep.
FanDuel is definitely harder.
Oh my gosh. We're just like
Oh,
We'll
that's
fix that
funny.
later. We have so much other stuff. So we're 50 minutes in and we haven't talked anything about Top Shot yet.
I will address this comment here. Sophie on the internet has been problematic and sort of notably transphobic, and I just don't jive with that. So I'm not gonna do it. I'd rather not. Yeah.
I think that's what needs to be said.
Yeah. No thanks.
And and we're moving on.
That's it.
And
Um,
that's it. Um,
yeah.
we promised in the show notes that we were going to talk about um the W roadmap. Um,
Yeah.
and we are going to bring a screen up again. And so this is where we're at. Folks have probably already seen it. Top Shot Takes has been over it. I think Mike went over it. Everyone in the Top Shot world. If you the Top Shot podcast did a really great breakdown of what's coming with it as well. So there's lots of folks out there to really dig through the nitty gritty of the roadmap, and it's exciting. There's a lot of things that I enjoy in here. We get back to the run it back that takes us to 2008 when Candace Parker won Rookie of the Year and League MVP. An absurd kind of accomplishment. That's
incredible.
amazing. Yeah, we're getting multiple rare sets.
A buzz from Candace that this might be her last year on opening night.
Yep.
Not sure how true that is, but if you think there is truth to that and that could actually happen, worth scooping.
We're getting a premier rare set featuring the best active players, something that sounds like MGLE, but they don't have a title for it yet. We're getting rare fandom and common tiers. We're getting an archive set. We're getting a base set that's featuring 6 to 7 players from each team, a limit that's going to be capped at 10K. The fandom tiers are going to work in challenge rewards as well as the WNBA All-Star game. They are doing a fandom moment for the Commissioner's Cup.
That's fun.
That's going to be fun. It's going to help us remember that the Commissioner's Cup is the thing. As we still try to figure this out. And there's going to be a game recognized game rare set as well. And I cannot wait for announcements on this. Who's narrating, where the moment's coming from. I gotta know. What's
your guess on narrator?
Oh gosh. I would, my initial thought was the initial thought bubble that I have is wouldn't it be great if there were NBA players who showed up and just remarked on how great
that'd be cool.
some of these moments were. But given our history of NBA players narrating moments, I don't think that interested.
It's gonna be a W player and they're gonna blow them out of the park. It's gonna be so well done that it just
Kelsey, you know what I want? I want Red Solo Cup narration of these game recognized game. I want Tarasi and Sue.
Well, and it's funny, I think partly because of the structure of the WNBA season and also because of the players we have here now. There are a handful of W players who do broadcasting stuff. My first instinct, I think Candace would be a great choice, and to me that feels like a no-brainer. I can see Angel McCautry doing a great job with that too.
Yep.
But it's Sue again, also putting her broadcasting hat on. So she I think they have that skill set to do that. There's a lot of players that could do that. My thoughts are maybe someone retiring this year. I think it's gonna be Candace. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think that's a great guess. My head is way in the clouds on that. And then just the thing I think it's probably the best move.
Player. But could you also have Rebecca Lobo? Would that count, or does it have to be an active?
I don't know.
Player.
That's a good call. I don't think is she the voice of the W? When you think about
I'm thinking of like other
Yeah.
announcers. Lisa Leslie's on Top Shot, like
Mhm.
maybe she does it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think any I'm just gonna say that I have faith that they're
Oh,
gonna
it's
make
gonna be
that
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. I do
And
my official lock is Candace though. That's who
yeah.
who
I
I think's
can't
doing
wait
it.
till we get to, like, loop this back and you get to tell everyone that you were right, because I did the same thing when we were guessing the run it back year, and I absolutely, um, patted myself on the back for it. Um, Top Shot Tesla, I think that your take is a common one. When we brought up TST, this is the take that they had. Him and John Boy Beats were said the same thing. Like they were just disappointed in the mint counts, and it could be a lot. And who knows what it looks like with the different incentives for collecting whatever the collector number thing attached to your account is going to be
Yeah.
and look like in the future. Um, and they were even, I mean, they were even talking about they thought the mint counts for these MGLE-esque moments were going to be too high. And I'm not quite there yet because I think 499 is a great number for a rare set, no matter what, even if you're going to have multiple ones. I do think that I can understand the concern of having a full on archive set and a full on 10K base set could present some challenges with market supply, but I'm honestly I'm not that worried about it. That means more
Yeah.
players to collect for me, and I want that.
Yeah. I wonder if too they're trying to not like I'll be curious if people consider this series 4 as a series 1 equivalent for WNBA or if I personally think the summer series is more of the
Mhm,
series 1. But I wonder if they're trying to create more of like an even field for the series to come where like this is if people are to view this as like a series 1, um, if it doesn't sort of kind of balloon those prices in the same way.
mhm,
But
yeah,
I mean, I don't know because I sort of view the summer set as that first
mhm,
thing. So, um,
yeah.
yeah. I'm not super well versed with like the mint count stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm an exception to the rule here, but like I don't
Mhm,
really care.
right.
Like I think at the end of the day, a common moment like certain moments are going to be valued a certain way and
Mhm,
I don't think that many people are paying attention to the total number. Like if they're calling it rare or they're calling it common, like I mean there are a few exceptions obviously, but those exceptions are reflected by how other people price it. So
mhm,
like I'm not really paying attention to that.
yeah,
I'm like, "Oh, why is this one a common that's more expensive?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's out of less. Okay, fine." But it's also right now with Top Shot, those are also earlier moments. So I'm like, in the long run, how is it really gonna be affected? And I don't know the answer, but truly I don't pay attention to it. And
oh,
I
I am not
and I
gonna
think
lose
your
any sleep
average
about
user
it.
won't. I
Yeah,
think that, like, the new people coming in, like, this
mhm,
roadmap's for the old people. Like, the boomers of
yep.
Top Shot are looking at this roadmap. The new users, I don't think care.
Mhm,
That's my
and
hot take on that.
I don't think that that's how to take, because I think we've both established ourselves, like, we are not people who are, like, invested in this to track our account valuations on a daily
Yeah.
basis or to see, like, how much money we're making off
Yeah.
X or what the market's gonna look like
It's not a
next
market to me,
week.
it's like a
Yeah,
product.
exactly. This is a way for me to
Mike,
engage.
you're on your account. You're not on the Tony account, so you may wanna swap your swap your handles.
Public service
Does Tony have a
service
YouTube?
announcement.
We should get Tony in the chat for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, I would hope that Tony, would like and subscribe, just
Yeah.
as I hope all of you here, like, subscribe, get in the Discord, and join us. Um, this is a way for me to engage in a game that I really enjoy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
with it being moment ranks, with it being, an engagement platform that we're in Discord, if it's everything that comes with it, whether that's extra dapper for me to buy new packs, when I sell a moment, that's great. If it's WNBA League Pass that I can gift to someone else because they already bought it, that's
Yeah.
great.
I think it's
It's
that type of stuff that people will pay attention to as well.
exactly.
Um, someone had asked about the rollout. I don't know if they meant WNBA rollout or Top Shot rollout, but I do think that Top Shot could have gifted League Pass before the season started. Luckily, I do think I'm still in my free trial because I signed up like on the league start date. But what? What?
Right?
That feels like someone today was like, "Oh, hey, there's a league pass for WNBA." And they're like, "Oh, we should. How much is it?" And they're like, "It was like $25 for the year." And they're like, "We should have given that away." And they're like, "Great, fire up the email, like send it out now."
It felt like
Because you
the
don't get
sticky
the
note that
code
was
for 2 more
buried.
days.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it doesn't feel ready.
No.
And I appreciate it. I think it's a
Mhm.
great idea. But again, like I feel like it's an idea you should have had Friday.
Mhm.
And that email Friday and then me getting my code like Monday or Tuesday feels different.
It's
But
also completely something where we got gifted X number of league pass codes, so we're not gonna do it
oh,
on opening night
yep.
because we're gonna get like have way more demand
I hope they
than we
weren't
have
gifted.
supply
I hope
for.
they have to pay.
That's true.
Like support
Yeah, support the women,
support these
guys.
women, pay for this
Yeah.
stuff. Which part of me is like, great, I'll have a code. Someone else that wouldn't pay for it can
Mhm.
have it. I don't care. Like I would have paid for it anyway. So
Mhm.
whenever you get it, that's fine.
Right.
WNBA rollout league wise too. I will say the Liberty game, like being at the Liberty game, the in-game experience, and I only have that game as a data point, but that was awesome. It was incredible. They felt prepared. They felt like we need to give these fans a show so that they want to come back. They tell their friends to
Mhm.
come back. Like it was so much fun. And so in terms of like that one game rollout, that was exceptional. I feel like we're in our own sort of media bubble. Like my Twitter feed has a lot of WNBA now because of the
Mhm.
accounts I followed. So I felt like there was hype, there was marketing. Like Seattle's doing a lot of cool stuff where like I just feel like they're sharing more game day fits. I feel like
Mhm.
the tunnels have more pop to them. So you're
Yep.
seeing these pictures later and it all looks cooler.
Mhm.
Um, but I
Vegas
don't
had the,
know.
oh, go ahead.
Go
Finish
ahead.
your thought. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, but I don't know. Like I think I have a biased perspective on this.
Mhm.
So I actually would be curious of like Top Shot Tesla, what your thought is. Like, was it on your radar? Were
Mhm.
you, or only because of Top Shot did you know about this? So, I mean, I feel like I was happy with it, but I'm also pretty locked in. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, ESPN, I think every day has had a WNBA related tweet, at least one on the main ESPN account. Um, it's shown like I think it's just showing up like SI does multiple tweets, maybe not a
yeah,
day, but they do a whole bunch throughout the week.
and they put the women on
Features
the
and
cover of
stories.
their
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated
Oh, they
swimsuit
did.
edition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the W
And
players are on that, which is cool.
yep. And I think what you say about what they're doing for the product is right. Did you see that video of the Vegas intro where they had like the football recruit kind of
Mm,
360 camera thing around, and that's what they did for the game day fit. And like
cool,
I'm gonna guess they do that for like every home game
cool.
as well. And it was completely fire. It was real
Yeah.
good. Yeah. We're oh my gosh, like how is time flying like this much? Like we're over an hour in, and I have 3 packs to open. How many do you have?
I also have the 3.
Do you wanna open them now?
I think we rip them and get out of here.
Yeah,
We could also
we
just
do.
rip one and save one. The goal is to do this weekly.
Right,
So I don't know. Hopefully we'll have a new WNBA pack by the next show, but if we want to
right.
rip all 3, we could just go for it.
Okay, well,
Um,
I can rip one. Can we fire up the giveaway? I bet there's one in here that I could give away.
yeah, let me see.
Yeah.
StreamYard. Make sure you like and subscribe. We will choose a broadcast, is it not? There we go. We'll pick the hashtag text here.
Yep.
This is a
So
good question. I don't know what the requirements were.
so when
Um,
you I
is it
think
the
all I
complete
know is what was in
set?
the email. Mhm.
Oh,
You
I didn't pay
The
attention.
the email basically said they're gonna send you a code within 48 hours, after you click that link, and I assume that when you do your sign up page on the WNBA League Pass, website or the app, that they're gonna have some kind of, like,
Yeah, but do you know
promo
why we
code.
got it? Did every like is it I don't know if because like I have the whole
Oh,
summer
right.
set, but it just
Mhm,
said thanks for being a member of our WNBA community. Like it
mhm,
might be if your team is set to a WNBA team, if you have
right.
a complete. So this one, yeah, just a complete
Gotcha.
WNBA set.
Okay. Yeah, I totally
Um,
misunderstood that.
yeah. Oh,
Okay.
you're good.
Oh,
I don't think everyone got it.
right.
I think this is right. I think it is a WNBA set. But I
Mhm.
think a lot of people have completed that set because it wasn't there wasn't a huge cost of entry.
And look at that, set utility, like,
Yeah, right
within the
away. We
first
love
week.
it.
There we go.
I
Yeah.
think it was too. Very excited.
Yeah, I was hyped for everything all weekend. I totally hijacked the TV at, like, our family get together on Saturday to watch Liberty,
As you do.
Connecticut.
You gotta.
Yeah, as you do. And, like, I told my dad the story of, like, Alyssa Thomas and just, like, how she came back from an Achilles injury last year to rock it in the playoffs, how she has had so many, like, shoulder injuries that she basically has to shot put a ball, to get it up, and
That's
then
why.
she went wild in the third quarter, and my dad was just completely like, I
Yeah,
think he
she was
wants an
fun.
Alyssa Thomas jersey now. Like, he was
I
in it.
I was so confused by those free throws.
Yep.
That makes sense.
And she shoots it well. Like, her form
It
is more off
it
than
was
Shaq.
nuts.
Yeah.
Mike's like, "I love that now."
Mhm.
Because it's the
Yeah.
one-handed. I'm thinking of the right player. It's the one-handed free throw.
Yep. She
Yeah.
is absolutely the
Wow.
toughest person on the planet. Like, to just rock that many injuries and still be a dominant player.
Interesting.
It's amazing.
I
Yeah.
had no idea.
Okay.
I'll make fun of that shot less. I thought she got in trouble. That felt like when I was in high school and you'd get in trouble for missing your free throws, your coach is like, "You're supposed to shoot with one hand, the other hand's just guiding it. So now
Uh-huh.
put your hand behind your back and you can't use it until you make this many baskets."
It's
And I was like,
exactly what it
"They
looks
do that
like.
in the W? Wow."
Man, I would not put that past Coach Kirk though. Like that dude would do it. What's our hashtag gonna be? Is it gonna be League Pass for all?
We could do I was gonna make it whatever you decided to give away.
Oh, we could do that. Let's do that.
Um,
I like that better than League Pass for all.
yeah, just so everyone knows what they're getting. It all matches up.
An actual moment. All right, are
Yeah,
we doing we're not gonna do the diamond one. Do we want drop one or drop two for packs?
up to you.
All right, it's the first one. Let's do drop one. We got the sound off. Excellent. Let's see. We're hoping for a Stewie so we can complete our opening weekend challenge. This is why we bought an overpriced Diamond to Shields that
Oh, I
immediately went
think I
back
already
down to
filled that in.
$8. Yeah.
What's so nice about having the full set is that when those challenges pop up, I'm like, click, click, click,
Mm-hmm.
click, click,
Already
click.
done. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Oh, here we
goes
go.
fast.
Sylvie.
Yeah,
All right.
that's great.
Oh, the defensive goat. Just it's
I was glad she had a better game tonight. I was
yeah.
getting nervous about her.
I think there were a lot of nervous Lynx fans
Yeah,
out
the
there.
Lynx.
Yep.
I want to root for them.
Okay. Courtney Williams. There we go. Back on the sun. She has like her Twitter is just like such a good voice for who she is. She had a great tweet sort of after the swimsuit cover was released, just about like it's cool that these people feel confident enough to do that. Like it'd be great if we could like showcase women in other ways, like to a broader audience. Like,
Yeah,
but she did it in a very Courtney Williams voice, and it was very cool.
yeah.
Oh, no storm, but
There
we
we
get
go.
Sloot. There we go. Uh, is a deep threat here? Is he jealous?
We got Lynx
Let's see what he's
representation and we got
yeah, and
Henderson
we got
rep.
another little championship badge. That's all right.
There
All
we
right, we're gonna give
go.
away the Courtney Williams out of that.
All right. Should we do the hashtag like full court?
Yeah, I was gonna say storm the court, but I like full
Oh,
court. That's
storm
shorter.
the court.
Yeah.
Storm the court. Start collecting comments. So
I'm gonna stop sharing. There you go.
I'll share this giveaway tool here. Storm the court. That's what it looks like.
And make sure you're putting that in that you like the show or you like the show, you subscribe to Team Hold.
There's only
When
7 of you here. So like
you
this is
are
you have great odds.
And
Oh,
DH, we're glad you're
welcome.
here. Oh man. And if you win, DM me, DM Kelsey, either in the Discord where you're going to find us or on Twitter. DM us at the Watch Your Work Show Twitter page, wherever.
Yeah, find us, but definitely let us know your Top Shot username because you may be a regular, but I don't know those things. I don't know those things about you. Yeah. So
right. And Top Shot Tesla's right. Like
yeah.
on ESPN, on SI, like they're getting regular features all the time. It's really great to see.
Is it Diamond to Shields? I'm afraid I'm gonna get storm the Courtney Williams. Clever. Other moment. He's moving away. I'd not considered that. Yeah, they're doing more profiles. They're doing more like it's cool. But is it Diamond to Shields that I'm thinking of that they're now like did you see that she
they did an outside the line story for
her surgery that like nobody knew about. Yeah, I'm excited for that to come out. I'm excited to see that. That's like what an incredible, even just like the previews for that story. What an incredible story. Yeah, surgery for a tumor that gave her tremors, and she sort of had to regain her motor function.
Yeah,
look
it
at
was
her
like
now.
attached to her spine. Like it's incredible. And now she played a full off season in Europe. It's incredible.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I'm glad they're building that out. I think a lot of cities should get expansion teams. Please go to our Watch Her Work Twitter page. I have lined out who I think should be owners, where I think they should be, and I've even given them team name ideas. So I think Toronto's on the short list. I think what were the other ones? Miami, I think would be fun.
Folks want the Comets back.
And then I think I said Boston and Nashville just because I had team names for those ones. But I think Toronto, Miami make the most sense to me for cities. It'd be fun.
I think if we bring the Monarchs back, we're putting it back in like the Bay Area and not Sacramento. I have kind of Bay Area like Oakland as my second choice behind Toronto. And I think this may be unpopular opinion. I think Louisville is an interesting place to put a team. They got to a women's soccer league team out there that's really popular, and I think it's a cool market. So anyway, that's Key fun. West. There we go.
I like that. Should I rip it back and then we get out of here?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, here we go. Which one did you do?
I did drop one.
All right, we'll do that.
There you go.
Here we go. All right.
Left to right. We got Vegas. Oh,
nice. We love a Plum moment.
Heck yeah. A bucket.
She's going to be so good. I'm so excited she's starting. Yeah, Kelsey Plum all the way.
How does she have the motor that she has? It's incredible.
I would say that after watching the teams play this weekend, I feel like Kelsey Plum came in like in the best shape of her life and was like, I'm ready. Like, I will run up and down this court. I will lap you 100 times. Like,
and she's
you're going to come in and you're not going to be in physical shape for this game. Great. I'm going to be in peak physical shape game one. Like, I'm ready to go.
I mean, it has to be pressure to have like one of the best guards in WNBA history, like as your head coach. So you probably want to show up, but like, dang, she did it.
And I'm excited to see this year for Kelsey. She's already playing amazing.
Absolutely.
Very fun.
Here we go. Ariel Atkins.
Very fun.
Glad she didn't end up being hurt today. Had kind of a scary injury. Bounced back. Playing really well this year. I'm glad for her.
Yeah, so far so good. Wait, go. Our girl Crystal.
Hey, friend of the show. There we are.
We love this. I got a Kelsey Plum and a Crystal Dangerfield in the same pack. I feel like this is like the team whole really, really brought it for this today.
For sure.
Amazing. We love it.
All right, let's pick a winner.
All right.
I mean, we're all winners.
Let's share.
Let me watch the W.
Share my tab. Giveaway tool. Four entries, you guys. I love it. This is how, you're a fan of the show. You're here. Like, this is this is the advantage.
Yep. This is your utility.
Of being here early. Early on the W, early on watch her work.
Yep.
You have a 1 in 4 shot at this moment.
Look at all the same.
I love it.
I'm happy for anyone who wins. There you go, Mac Attack. You deserve it.
This is I love this.
Mac Attack almost deserves some, some sort of reimbursement for the work that he does in our Discord. Like, they're a lot, like doing good work, dropping alpha, a lot of good stuff. So thanks.
Congratulations.
Folks. Yeah. Thanks congrats. Appreciate all y'all.
Yeah, guys, this was fun.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, I think we'll see you again next week.
Yep.
9:30. We'll have more to LOL.
Oh.
All right.
Thanks, Kelsey.
Thanks, Kevin. See you guys.
Mm-hmm.